it's Elaine with Elaine's Custom Cards. Today we're doing something a little bit different. I'm not going to actually demonstrate how I made these cards. We're going to talk about card layout and how you can take a card layout and turn it into several different cards. And you can take different designer series paper, different colored cardstock. What I will do is put the actual dimensions on my blog so you can push the little down arrow, and I'll give you the dimensions because they're all different, this corner section here. And then this piece right here is a little bit wider than this piece. But I'll kind of talk about what I did. This was the first one I made, and I used the Botanical Prints Designer Series paper. I bought the product medley, and it came with this die cut, came with the labels, and lots of different papers, and the ribbon. And I'll put this on here so you can see better. Anyway, I just took a piece of the designer series paper and cut it down to, I believe this is 3 inches wide on this one, and then I used, it's 3 inches by 4 inches, and then the mat is basic black, and it is no, this is 3 inches by 5, sorry, 3 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and the mat is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And then this little strip, which is the back of one of the pieces of DSP, is I believe that's 2 inches wide. No, it's not 2 inches wide. I think it's 1 inch and, let me measure it. 1 1/8. This is 1 1/8. This is 2 7/8 inches wide. Okay? I knew that my dimensions might be off. And then I just took the layering circles dies, and this is the largest of the scalloped circle, and then this is the stitched framelits, and this was, I believe, the largest also. And then I just glued this down on the corner, and then I turned this over and drew a line to know where to cut. You could just, after I glued it on there, you could just eyeball it with your scissors. This is going to irritate me, I can see that. Okay, that's better. It kept moving on me. And then I stamped the sentiment on one of the die cut labels. I used this stamp set that came with the set, and I just used that sentiment. And this also came with a set of dies, which I did not use because I used one of the die cuts that was in the kit. And then these are the two framelits that I used, the circles and the stitch shapes for this. And then I just used a piece of the ribbon and tied it in a knot. And that's how I made this one, and the base is Whisper White, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Okay, this was the next one, and it is Petal Pink base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I used some of the champagne ribbon because it looks like pink to me. And it's got this gold, oh, I forgot to tell you, I did put rhinestones on this, you can see that. Okay, so this I used the Floral Essence, and it's on, I used the Floral Essence stamp set, but I used the Perennial Essence Suite for this. The paper, the ribbon, I can't remember which suite that came with, but it matched this, so. And so I took piece of the DSP, and this one is, I made this one 2.5 wide, and this one's 1.5 because I wanted this a little bit wider than the other one. And then the mat is Blackberry Bliss, and it is the same size as the black mat on the other one, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And I just glued it on here, and they're just stuck next to each other. They don't overlap because I knew I was going to cover it with a ribbon, and I just tied it in a knot. And then I stamped All Days Are Beautiful to Begin With You from this stamp set. I stamped that in Blackberry Bliss. Then I took one of the, trying to use these up, one of these doilies, and that's what's under here. And then this is the Blackberry Bliss Whisper White. And then I stamped this image twice with Flirty Flamingo. And then there's a punch that you can punch it out. And so I used this punch right here. And then I stamped the leaves, and this leaf punches out those leaves. So I stamped the leaves in Old Olive. And then I just glued these together, and I put them up on a dimensional just right in the middle, and just kind of took my fingers and curled the flowers a little bit. And then I took one of the Perennial Essence Floral Centers, and it's kind of fuzzy, and it has they're self-sticky, so I put one of those in the center of the flower. And then I used some of the rhinestones from let me see, the Noble Peacock. That's where these rhinestones came from. So that's how I did this one. I haven't done the insides of them. And then this one, I decided to turn it, and I didn't really like the way it looked after I put the center on there. So I added leaves. I thought, oh, that looks neat. And I embossed this piece of crushed curry with the embossing folder. I can find it buried here. There it is. This embossing folder that comes with the it's part of the Ornate Garden suite. That's where I got this. And so I embossed this with that. And then I did the same thing. I tied the bow on this one. The other two have knots. And these are the same dimensions as the last one. I just used different size circles on here. And then I got my rhinestones from the Noble Peacock rhinestones. And anyway, I just thought it was neat that you could take one layout and make several different cards, and they all look different paper. This is from the same suite but a different pattern paper, and this one's from a completely different suite that I made this card. I stamped this with Memento Black. I stamped this with Mossy Meadow, and then one set of leaves are Mossy Meadow and the rest of them are Old Olive, just to give it a variation of color. And then I used the ribbon from this suite. Anyway, I thought, let me know what you think. If you want more detailed instructions, or if you want me to do a video showing you how I made these, they're pretty simple. The base on this one is Old Olive. The cardstock, the mat is Old Olive. The base is Flirty Flamingo. And then I just took a piece of the DSP, and then this is crushed curry. And then I just used three different circles for this corner. Anyway, that's my tip for the day and how to take one layout and change it up a little bit to get 3 different styles of cards. And the possibilities are endless with this. There's so much designer series paper, and it'll help you use up some of your paper. They didn't take that long to make. And tell me which one you like the best. I think I like this one the best. It's because I like this paper, but I like them all. I think they all turned out cute, pretty, whatever. But I'll put the basic dimensions on my blog so you know what sizes, specifically these 2 cards, because this is a little bit different, but you can make it the same size. This was my first one, and I decided I wanted less. I wanted it more like this. So I'll put the dimensions, and then you can do what you want with the sizes of your circles. Get creative. I just glued it on there and then turned it over and cut. Or you can glue it on, turn it over and draw a line and then cut. However, it works for you. I believe I did it both ways. So I hope you have a blessed day and have fun stamping.